So 2022-2023 League One campaign is just around the corner, folks. In fact, it kicks off this bloody weekend. Who's going to get off to a flyer? Who's going to get off to an absolute shocker? We're going to take a look at it, all of it, next. That's right, folks. Back once again with another prediction video today. We're kicking off a brand new EFL League One campaign. And of course, we'll take a look at how everyone's going to get on in just a second. Of course, if you're new to the channel, where the heck have you been, boys and girls? Smash your subscribe button, bang it, all things Rovers related, League One related, woo, football related. We got it all here, boys. Under one Rooski, of course. Yes, it is about bloody time, isn't it? Fantastic new campaign. Of course, a Sunderland-less League One, but of course, they're very, very wide open League One. Who will get themselves off to an absolute fly? We'll take a look at it in a minute. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons, guys. But anyway, let's jump in the deep end. Of course, have a look at what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this. That's right. It is League One, and it is about to get going this coming weekend. Now, before we jump in the deep end, of course, and have a look at the brand new season, we want to recap, of course, what went on last time around. Well, here is the table in all its glory. No more Wigan, no more Rotherham, and of course, no more Sunderland. Meanwhile, on the foot of the table, there's no more Gillingham, no more Doncaster Rovers, no more Wimbledon, and Crewe have also said goodbye to League One for this campaign. But can the likes of MK Dons get it right this time? What about Ipswich, Bolton, of course, in the mix, and can Morecambe under Derek Adams kick on for another season in League One, of course, for next season? We'll take a look at all that as the season bubbles, but let's take a look at how you all did, of course, at the end of the campaign with the recap of the prediction league. That's right, we're going to take a look at, of course, the final results here. These were the playoff final picks, score lines. Of course, only 4 years bothered with it in the end, but those 4 points, or those points there amassed in the final, could have been the difference between you winning the prediction of the month, of course, and going through into a hat to win a prize, and of course not. So well done to the four that did have a crack at it anyway. But how, of course, did that affect the tables? I said, take a look at it and then shall we? This is, of course, the mini table from January onwards. Of course, Deep Out the Great ran away with it with 140 points, but you win absolutely nothing for being top from the second half of the season. What really counts is, of course, who won the overall grand scheme of things. Well, this is the overall table. So currently, right here, right now, taking away our prize is Ferius 77. So let's give him a round of applause. 260 points for the season. So well done to him, and of course, well done for the rest of you guys for taking part. So well done, well done, well done. You need to get a hold of me one way or another, whether it's through the Discord, whether it's through Twitter or email. You've got to get a hold of me, and of course, I'll hook you up with a $10 gift card or Venmo cash, or we can donate it to charity, whatever you like. So let me know one way or another. It's going to take a couple of days for me to go through these and, of course, get them all sorted out and organised. But I wanted to let you know you are a winner, chicken dinner. But who's going to join you, of course? Let's take a look at their list of winners for Prediction of the Month for May. We have three winners. Shane O'Donnell's in there, Vinnie Hong and Deepak. They're great. They all, of course, go into a mixer now. A bit of a spinning loop-de-loop kind of job here. And, of course, we're going to see who wins from this, from a random selector. So let's take a look at that right here, right now. Of course, looking at it, Shane O'Donnell has a good chance. Deepak the Great has a good chance with multiple entries because he did very, very well for multiple months. First 77 also could actually make it just like the League Two video. He could also be a winner. If he a double winner if he was to get his name pulled out here. So let's take a look at it in all its glory. So here it is, folks. Here it is. It's the Wheel of Destiny. Of course, all the names of the winners of the Prediction of the Month are in here. And, of course, whoever I select from this list will go away with a $10 gift card. All the names are in here twice as well if you won it more than once. And, of course, 3 times as well if you're very, very lucky. 4 times if your name's Deepak the Great as well. So here we go. We're going to spin it right here, right now. Whatever happens, happens. So don't be a tit if your name doesn't come out of it. So here we go. One time and one time only. And the winner is... I've got to spend the money one way or another. And it is, I think, it's going to be Tix. Oh, no, it's Shane O'Donnell. Well done indeed. Shane O'Donnell, big winner there, of course. And that's a bit of a smart one as well because he is also a patron. So the love that he gives to me in the channel is going to be reflected to him now on the other end. So Shane O'Donnell, you're our winner. Now, I'm passing the buck over to you. You've got to get in touch with me, whether it is through Patreon, whether it is through DM, through Twitter. I will get up to date with you very, very soon. So make sure you check it all out. And, of course, get in touch with me to get your winnings as well. Now, of course, we are going to be running another prediction league. It is pretty much the same as we've done last season. We do use the Google form, so make sure you check that out as well. Just the 1 points on offering. It's pretty simple stuff. All you need to do there is free to enter, get your name in lights, that kind of stuff. And I will be seeing you next week. If you can get it nice and early, we'll get you caught up to speed very, very soon. And let's take a look at, of course, the 24 teams that will make up the League One this campaign. We've got Accrington, Stanley, they're still here. Barnsley, of course, return. Bolton Wanderers, Bristol Rovers are back. Burton, of course, Cambridge United, Charlton Athletic, we've got Cheltenham Town, Derby County are here, Exeter City have also joined us, Fleetwood Town, Forest Green Rovers, the Vegans are here, Ipswich Town, Lincoln City, of course, MK Dons, Morecambe, of course, back, Oxford United, Peterborough have returned, Plymouth are there, Port Vale, we've got Portsmouth still in the mix, so Sheffield Wednesday, one of the favourites to go up, and Shrewsbury Town, alongside playoff finalists or playoff regulars, Wycombe Wanderers. Those are the 24 clubs. Who's going to get themselves off to a flyer? Well, let's take a little look at it now. These are the opening games, and of course the table for what it is right here, right now, for whatever reason, it is right beneath me. 0. Everyone starts with a clean bill of health, and of course you could be Burton, you could be Morecambe, you could be Lincoln. Any one of those teams could be top with a big fat win. So let's kick it all off with the opening day's fixtures. Of course, they're coming at you right here, right now. So bear with me as we jump in the deep end and of course explore these matches. So before we get into it, make sure you subscribe, smash the thumbs up, and smash the little bell. So here we go. League One kicking off this campaign, starting all off, of course, on Saturday the 30th of July. We're going to jump in the deep end with Accrington Stanley up against Charlton, of course, Coleman up against Garner in the dugout. Garner, of course, a debut for him as manager for Charlton, formerly of Swindon. Now, these two sides have played each other 6 times in 2018. 3 wins for Accrington, 1 for Charlton, and 2 draws as well. Charlton, though, coming to this on the back of just 1 win and 5 for them, 42% form for them. Not great. Meanwhile, Accrington just the 1 defeat over the last 6. In fact, they've beaten Accrington Stanley have beaten Charlton 3 times over the course of 6 games. Works out around about 1 point. Well, they've scored 9 goals in the course of those 6 matches. Works out around 1.5 goals a game ratio compared to Charlton and their 1 victory, scoring 6 goals as well. 1 goal a game on average. Meanwhile, Charlton, of course, did beat. Actually lost to Accrington Stanley last time around. 2-1 it was back in March 2022. That was, of course, match number 8. And of course, Charlton did come into this on the back of a 2-1 win over Sunderland. It was a friendly back on the 23rd of July. Meanwhile, Charlton did lose to Swansea, of course, heading into this match as well. 8-5 is your Stanley, 23-10 is your draw, 13-8 is your Charlton Athletic. I'm going to go with a cheeky Accrington Stanley victory here because I think their form is key to their survival and key to where they're going to be at the end of the season. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for them. Bit of a shit start for Ben Garner, but of course, don't worry. I think Charlton are going to be in the mixer towards the end of the season. Anyway, Bristol Rovers taking on Forest Green Rovers, of course, back this time last season. This game was, of course, in League 2. Played each other 8 times, though, since 2014. 2 wins for Bristol Rovers, 4 for the Vegans, and 2 draws as well. Just 1 defeat, though, the past 6 games for Bristol Rovers. 75% form for them. Up against the Forest Green side, of course, coming into this, just 1 win and 5 for them. 50% form, winning 2, losing 2, and drawn 2 over the last 6. The biggest win for Forest Green over Bristol Rovers was just a 2-0 win. The biggest win in their way was a 2-0 win as well for Bristol Rovers. They've only scored 4 goals compared to the Forest Green Rovers 7. Works out around about 0.8 goals a game ratio for Forest Green and 0.5 goals a game ratio for Bristol Rovers, who haven't lost any of the last 14 home matches heading into this, including a 0-0 draw when they drew with Forest Green Rovers towards the back end of the campaign on the 23rd of April. In fact, Forest Green Rovers, though, have come into this on the back of 1, 2, 3, 4 clean sheets against Bristol Rovers, stretching all the way back to July 2017. They also come to this on the back of a clean sheet against Melksham in a friendly prior to this game. Meanwhile, Bristol Rovers did pick up a 2-0 win over Stoke City as well heading into this. But the odds here are 13-10 for the hosts, 9-4 is your draw, and 2-1 is your away winner. Of course, Forest Green Rovers. I'm back in, of course, Barton's boys here. Get off to a flyer at home. If the game was flip-flopped around, I probably would back the Vegans, but unfortunately, no, not this time around. Cambridge United. I could be taking on Liam Manning's MK Dons as well on the 30th of July. Played each other 5 times in 2014. 1 win for Cambridge, 4 for MK Dons, and 0 draws. Just 1 win at the last 6 for Cambridge right now, 25% form. Meanwhile, MK Dons come into this, just 1 defeat to the past 6, 75% form as well. 13 goals have been scored by Milton Keynes when playing Cambridge. Meanwhile, Cambridge has just scored 4, works out around about 0.80 goals game ratio compared to MK Dons 2.6 when, of course, playing Cambridge. Their biggest win, of course, MK Dons over Cambridge was a 6-0 win. The biggest win in the way was a 3-1 3-1 win as well. Last round over in Cambridge was a 1-0 win for MK Dons back in March 2022. That was back into the campaign, match number 39. In fact, they've gone 4 games without a defeat against Cambridge. In fact, just conceded 1 goal over the last 4 matches as well. They do come into this on the back of a 3-1 win over Barnet. That's MK Dons. Meanwhile, Cambridge with a 2-1 loss against Championship Hull City. Of course, the odds here, we have 3-1 is your Cambridge, 5-2 is your, and 11-10 on is your MK Dons. I'm back in, of course, MK Dons with a 3-1 win. Liam Manning's still here, which could be the signing of the season, really, even though he's not gone anywhere. I think he's an A-grade manager, and of course, another season here. I think he should wet the whistle and be very much in the mixer at the end of the campaign as well. Meanwhile, Cheltenham take on Peterborough as well on the 30th of July. Wade Elliott takes over the reign from Duffy, who went, of course, and joined Barnsley. Grant McCann still remains for Peterborough, of course, at the helm once again in League One. Played each other 8 times, these two sides have done 2 wins for Cheltenham, 4 for Peterborough, and 2 draws as well. Just 1 win at the last 4 games for Cheltenham. They've actually come to on 50% form, winning 2, losing 2, and drawn 2 over the last 6. Meanwhile, Peterborough coming to just 1 defeat past 5 for them, 58% form, including, and they've also picked up a monstrous 5-1 win over Cheltenham, a record breaker there. Meanwhile, Cheltenham's biggest win, just the 1-0, of course. 10 goals have scored by Cheltenham when playing Peterborough. Meanwhile, 19 goals have been scored by the Posh when, of course, taking on Cheltenham. Works out about 2.38 goals a game compared to the 1.25 goals a game for Cheltenham. Last time around, though, they played each other over at Cheltenham. It was that big 5-1 win. It was a friendly. Did it really count? No. But last time they played in competitive action was even a whopping, a bigger scoreline. It was a 6-3 win for Peterborough at Cheltenham back in December 2008. That was in League One way back when. Peterborough picking up a 3-0 win over Hull last time around, of course, and Cheltenham picking up a 1-0 win over Birmingham last time around. The odds for this one, though, 21-10 is your Cheltenham, 12-5 is your draw, and 5-4 is your away win. It is, of course, Peterborough. I'm back in Cheltenham here, surprise, surprise. New manager, new start. Can they last, though? Probably not. Posh, of course, will get into gear once, of course, the season gets into the swing of things. They're still ironing out the kinks. Meanwhile, is Liam Rosinia's Derby catching up against Carl Robinson's Oxford, of course, playing each other at Pride Park. 2 times they played each other since 1993, 1 win apiece, and 0 draws. 1-3, lost 3. That's Derby's form heading into this 50% form for them. Up against Oxford, of course, just 1 defeat at the past 6, 75% form for them as well. The biggest win for Derby over Oxford was a 2-1 win. The biggest win the other way was a 2-0 win for Oxford, of course, and that 2-0 win was last time played each other in the Kazam or in Oxford back in November 1993. Last time played each other, and Derby was also in the Championship back in April 1994. Of course, Oxford coming to this on the back of a 0-0 draw against Wimbledon. It's actually been back-to-back games now without a goal in pre-season. Derby picking up a 3-1 loss against Leicester heading into this as well. The odds for this one then, we have 6-5 as your host, 12-5 as your draw, 11-5 as your away win. Derby are actually fancy to win this game. I've gone with a sneaky 1-0 win. Not big, not impressive, but just enough to get over the line. Morecambe are in action up against Shrewsbury. That's right, coming at you as well on the 30th of July. Played each other 17 times, 2003. We've got 5 wins for Morecambe, 8 wins for Shrewsbury, and 4 draws as well. Just 1 win, though, at the last 6 for Morecambe, 42% form up against Shrewsbury, who haven't won in the last 9 games, of course. However, they come into this with a record of 8 wins over Morecambe over the course of 17 games. The biggest win with a 5-0 win for Shrewsbury, scoring 27 goals compared to Morecambe's 16. Works out about 0.94 goals a game for Morecambe, a 1.59 goals a game ratio for Shrewsbury. The last time I picture that in Morecambe was a 2-0 win for Morecambe way back in August 2021. That was in League One. That was last season, of course. And of course, Morecambe pick up a 0-0 draw against Carlisle. Shrewsbury the same against Cardiff on this one. 2-1 is your Morecambe, 23-10 is your draw, and 13-10 is your Shrewsbury. I'm back in, of course, Derek Adams with a 2-1 win here, and of course Tyson Fury in the boxer shorts. That's right, he's going to be sponsoring them band boys moving forward. Meanwhile, Ed Sheeran continues to sponsor his boys, Ipswich Town. They got a zinger chicken dinner up against Bolton, of course, at Portman Road this coming weekend. Played each other 28 times since 1996, 12 wins for Ipswich, 9 wins for Bolton, and 7 draws. Just 1 defeat though the past 6 games for Ipswich, 67% form for them. Up against the Bolton side, have also just lost once at the last 6, 75% form for them as well. The biggest win for Ipswich though over Bolton was a 5-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 5-2 win. And actually Ipswich scores 40 goals compared to Bolton's 37 over the course of those 28 matches. Works out at about 1.43 goals a game for Ipswich, or 1.32 goals a game for Bolton. Of course, last time around over at Portman Road was a 5-2 win for Bolton back in September 2021. In fact, Bolton did the double over Ipswich last time around, scoring 7 goals, conceding the 2. They come into this on the back of a draw against Huddersfield Town. That's Bolton. Meanwhile, Ipswich come into this on the back of a draw against Millwall. The odds here for this one, the 2019 on is your Ipswich, score 20 potential, and 3-1 is your away win. I'm back in Ipswich here with a comfortable 3-0 win, a flex if you must, for the league, and of course maybe even top table with that, and it's looking very, very promising for them moving forward. Next up, of course, we have Lincoln City up against Exeter City, coming at you as well. Debut manager for Mark Kennedy, formerly of Liverpool, as of course a playing staff. Played each other 9 times, these two sides. 2 wins for Lincoln, 5 wins for Exeter, and 2 draws as well. Lincoln, though, 1-2, lost 2, and drawn 2 over the last 6. Meanwhile, Exeter just 1 defeat, past 5 for their 58% form, of course. Meanwhile, the record between these two sides, the biggest win for Exeter over Lincoln was a 3-1 win. The biggest win the other way was a 3-0 win for Lincoln City. Lincoln City scored just 9 goals compared to Exeter's 12 over the course of those 9 matches. Works out around about 1.33 goals a game for Exeter compared to the 1 goal a game for Lincoln. Lincoln, though, haven't won in the last 4 games. And Exeter's last win against Lincoln was way back in 2009. The last time the though over at Lincoln was a 1-1 draw. That's back in February 2019, and it was in League 2. Lincoln, though, picking up a 1-0 loss to Rovers. Actually been back-to-back games without a goal for them. So a bit of wobble, a bit of worry, and a concern perhaps for Lincoln's forwards moving forward. Coming at you, though, Exeter picking up a 1-0 loss to Torquay. Heading into one of the odds here, 23-10 is your host, 25 is your away win, and 11-5 is your draw. I'm back in a 2-1 win for Lincoln, even though I think they're going to struggle with the goals and even struggle with form as well. Meanwhile, Plymouth up against Barnsley, another zinger as well. Coming at you from Plymouth, Stephen Schumacher remains as, of course, Plymouth manager. Of course, Michael Duff takes over the reins at Barnsley. Played each other 13 times in 2003, 3 wins for Plymouth, 6 wins for Barnsley, and 4 draws, of course. Just 1 win, there was 6 for Plymouth right now, 42% form for them. Up against the Barnsley side, just lost once in the last 6 games, 58% form as well. Meanwhile, the biggest win for Barnsley over Plymouth, 3-0 win. The biggest win the other way, also a 3-0 win. Plymouth scoring 17 goals compared to Barnsley's 20 over the course of those 13 matches. Works out around about 1.54 goals a game compared to Plymouth's 1.31 goals a game. The last time they played each other over in Plymouth was a 3-0 win for Barnsley back in April 2019. That was in League 1. Barnsley pick up a 2-1 win over Sheffield. I think that's United. Meanwhile, of course, Plymouth pick up a 2-1 win over Yeovil, of course, down in the south east, west even, southwest. The odds coming at you for this one then. We have 21-20 is your Plymouth, 25 is your draw, and 30-5 is your Barnsley. And back, of course, the Green Army get a point here, 2-2 at the end, and of course, point split right down the middle. Port Vale up against Fleetwood Town, that's right, Port Vale newbies. Up against Scott Brown, that's right, Celtic Scott Brown legend, Fleetwood Town. Played each other 10 times, 2012, 4 wins apiece, and 2 draws as well. Port Vale picking up 4 wins in the last 5, 67% form, up against the Fleetwood Town side, who haven't won in the last 8 games. That's absolutely horrendous stuff. 17% form for them heading into this. Of course, over the course of those 10 matches they played each other, the biggest win for Port Vale was a 5-2 win. The biggest win for Fleetwood, a 2-0 win. Fleetwood scoring 11 goals compared to Port Vale's 12. Works out around about 1.2 compared to the 1.1 goal game ratio between the two sides. Last time around, over at Vale Park, it was a 1-0 win for Vale. It was a friendly. Last time they played each other in competitive action was back in November 2016. That was a 2-1 win for Port Vale as well. Vale picking up a 3-2 win over Rochdale, of course, in a friendly, with Fleetwood losing to Rotherham, of course, way back on the 7th of July. Let's take a look at the odds for this one then, shall we? Have Port Vale even, Stevens, 12-5 is your draw, 14-5 is your way with. That is, of course, Fleetwood Town. I'm going to go with, of course, a 1-0 win for Port Vale, kicking themselves off to a fantastic start in League 1. Into the final 2 now we go. It is Sheffield Wednesday up against Pompey, of course, coming at you at Hillsborough. Played each other 8 times since the year 2002 was for Sheffield Wednesday, 3 for Portsmouth, and 3 draws as well. Sheffield Wednesday just 1-6 for them, 33% form. Up against the Portsmouth side, who've just lost once at the last 5, 58% form for Danny Crowley's boys. The biggest win for Wednesday over Portsmouth, 4-1 win. The biggest win the other way was a 3-1 win. In fact, Sheffield Wednesday scored 10 goals as well as Portsmouth also scoring 10 goals. Works out around 1.25 goals a game ratio. Last time played over at Hillsborough was a big 4-1 win back in April 2022 for Sheffield Wednesday. Of course, that was actually the last day of the season. So they played the last game of the season. They're playing the first game of the season. Who's going to get off to an absolute fire? We'll see about that. Sheffield Wednesday did lose to Wigan in a friendly recently. Of course, Portsmouth did lose to Coventry also in a friendly quite recently as well. Let's take a look at the odds coming at you. We have 11-8 on is your Wednesday, 30-5 is your draw, and 50-4 is your Pompey on this one. Back in, of course, the 2-1 for Wednesday here. Slight win, but of course they are my favourites to go the bloody distance. And then wrap it up. It'll be Wycombe Wanderers up against Burton Albion. That's right, Adams Park. Played each other 14 times this year, 2010, 7 wins apiece and 0 draws. Wycombe, though, haven't won in the last 3 games, 50% form. Meanwhile, Burton still managed by Jimmy Floyd. Of course, just 1-6 for them. Of course, biggest win for Burton over Wycombe, 5-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 3-0 win. In fact, Burton scored 22 goals compared to Wycombe's 20 over the course of those 14 games. Around about 1.57 goals game ratio for Burton compared to the 1.43 for Wycombe Wanderers. Coming at you, though, last time around at Adams Park was a big 2-1 win for Wycombe back in December 2021. Meanwhile, Burton picked up a 3-0 loss against Sheffield Wednesday, United back in the 22nd of July. Watford picked up a big 4-1 win over Wycombe in pre-season. Of course, 5-4 on is your Wycombe, 5-2 is yours, 7-2 is your away win, boys. 2-0 win for me. Piece of piss for Wycombe Wanderers on this one, boys and girls. That is it. That is it. And if I'm right, if I'm bloody right, folks, this is what the table will look. And if I'm right, folks, if I'm bloody right, this is what the table will look like at the end of it. Like I said, Ipswich Town will be top of the pops with MK Dons not too far away. And, of course, Bristol Rovers will be happy with third right here, right now. Of course, don't forget to put your predictions, folks, in the Prediction League. For me, it is free to enter. Of course, details are in the description as well. And you could be winning a cash prize at the end of it. But that, my friends, is all I've got for you today. Hopefully you've enjoyed these League One predictions. Of course, we'll be back for some more predictions later on in the week with the Championship, Scotland as well. And of course, looking forward to next week when, of course, we start with the Premier League. But that's it, boys and girls. That is it. Hopefully you enjoyed the content. Make sure you smash your subscribe if you're new. Smash the thumbs up as well. And smash the little bell so you don't miss a beat. We're going to be here throughout the season. You cannot escape it. I'm like a bloody bad penny. You're not going to get rid of me. If you like it, stick around. If you don't, ta-ta for now.